So unless you've been living under a rock, I'm assuming you've heard the word minimalism by now. Over the past 5 years or so, the word minimalism has popped up everywhere, and it's become incredibly overused. The movement has dominated social media, and it's appeared in the news, and it's also had a huge impact on the fashion industry. Millions of people stripped down their wardrobes to just contain the basic essentials, and Steve Jobs became a fashion icon. Well, kinda. So it's fair to say that minimalism has spent a fair amount of time in the spotlight, but has it run its course? And more specifically, has minimalism run its course in fashion? But before I answer that, we need to look at minimalism in fashion, where it is today, and finally, if it has a future. So minimalism in fashion is nothing new. It's been around for ages. It just didn't have a trendy name. But once it got given a trendy name and a tagline to go with it, it got looked at as more of a trend. And like any trend, they have their time in the spotlight and then they fizzle out. But is minimalism really a trend? Well, if you look at minimalism as just an aesthetic, then it could be seen as a trend. But when looking at the role of minimalism in fashion as a whole, then I think there's a lot more to it than just that. Minimalism popularized the saying, buy less, buy well. It's taught us to fill our wardrobes with versatile and timeless pieces that stand the test of time, to keep only what you need and what brings you joy, and to get rid of the rest. And in the long run, you'll save yourself money, time, space, and hopefully a lot of stress. What minimalism teaches can be implemented into anyone's life, no matter what style you're into, and no matter what's currently trending. It's always a useful practice to follow, and to what extent you follow it is completely up to the individual. You also don't need to label yourself as a minimalist to benefit from the teachings either. But with all that being said, minimalism is definitely being talked about less, and according to Google Trends, it's on a downward trend. So why is this? Well, to put it simply, people already know about it, so they're talking about it less, and they're searching for it less. But what I'm going to do, and what I like to do, is compare minimalism to a diet. Certain diets become trendy, and everyone wants to give them a go. As soon as that diet's been around for a while and is known by the many, then people start to talk about it less. And as soon as the next exciting diet trend comes along, that's all people are talking about. So does that mean that everyone's abandoned the old diet, even if it's had a positive impact on their life? No, but they're probably not going to bang on about it because they probably assume that you already know about it. And it's the same with minimalism. Everybody knows about it by now, so people are talking about it less. Of course, there's going to be people who are bored of it or didn't get on with it, and they're going to move on to something else. But on the other hand, there's plenty of people whose lives have been positively impacted by it, so why would they give that up? So does minimalism still have a part to play in the future of fashion? In my opinion, yes, it most definitely does. As minimalism became more and more popular, minimalist style brands became more popular as a result. So much so that the market has become oversaturated. But aside from this, the popularity of these minimal style brands has really helped the industry out as a whole. Brands like Get have done amazing things for the industry, whether you like their clothing or not. They're well known for their transparency, and they've played a part in opening people's eyes to show what goes on in the fashion industry. This has led to a load of other brands becoming more transparent as well, and if a brand isn't being transparent, why not? People are starting to question it. Brands are now being outed more than ever for not being ethical, and if they don't change, they're at risk of losing their business. This movement has really helped pave the way for sustainable fashion, and I think a large part of it was down to the popularity of minimalism in the first place. Minimalism and sustainability go hand in hand in my opinion. They both help the environment. So for minimal brands to go sustainable too, it makes perfect sense. But since all of this, larger brands have been forced to make changes, and a lot of them are doing so. Another thing worth mentioning is the popularity in shopping secondhand. People are recycling clothes more and giving them new life. The whole teaching you to get rid of the things you no longer use in minimalism and a move towards more sustainable fashion has definitely had a huge impact on this trend. And with all the problems in the world with climate change and the fashion industry being a contributor to that, I think the teachings of minimalism are now more important than ever. It's become a lot more than just wearing basic essentials and saving space in your wardrobe, and I think it has an important role to play in the industry. Under what name that will be, who knows, who cares, it doesn't really matter. But to answer the question in the video title, is minimalism in fashion dead? I think the answer is no. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please do leave it a like. If you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I will see you all next week. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. See you later.